Welcome, dear listener. Tonight, we are taking a journey unlike any other. Not across great mountains, not over wide oceans, but through something much quieter, something wonderfully familiar. The gentle history of bread. The simple loaf that has warmed kitchens for thousands of years. The softer resting beneath linen cloths. The comforting scent drifting from old stone ovens. The peaceful rhythm of hands patiently kneading flour and water together. Tonight, we will wander through tiny villages, sunlit wheat fields, cozy bakeries, and warm kitchens lit by candlelight. There will be no hurry, no loud moments, no difficult lessons, only slow footsteps, gentle ovens, warm bread, and quiet stories carried through countless generations. So make yourself comfortable. Allow your body to become completely still. Let your shoulders soften. Relax your hands. Rest your jaw. Let your breathing become slow and easy. Take one gentle breath in, filling your lungs comfortably, and slowly breathe out. Again. Breathe in peacefully and breathe out, letting the day drift farther away. Feel your forehead becoming smooth, your eyes resting, your neck relaxing, your arms growing pleasantly heavy, your hands becoming warm, your legs supported, your whole body settling deeper into comfort. There is nowhere else to be. Nothing left to finish. Everything important can wait until tomorrow. Tonight, there is only warmth, only quiet, only the peaceful story waiting to unfold. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a golden wheat field. The evening sun hangs low in the sky. Its light turns every stalk of wheat into soft gold. A gentle breeze moves across the field. The wheat sways together, like calm waves upon a quiet sea. You slowly begin walking along a narrow dirt path. Your footsteps are light. The earth beneath your shoes feels warm from the afternoon sun. Wildflowers bloom beside the path. White daisies, blue cornflowers, little yellow buttercups. Bees hum softly among the blossoms. Far away, you hear birds preparing for the evening. Nothing feels rushed. Everything moves at nature's own peaceful rhythm. Ahead, you notice a tiny stone cottage. Smoke rises gently from its chimney. Its windows glow with warm amber light. A small herb garden grows beside the wooden door. Rosemary, thyme, lavender, mint. Their fresh fragrance drifts through the evening air. Nearby, a little wooden table holds a basket of freshly gathered wheat. The golden stalks have been carefully tied together with simple twine. Someone has already begun preparing tomorrow's flour. You continue walking. Soon, another little building comes into view. Its roof is covered with weathered clay tiles. A painted wooden sign gently sways above the doorway. It simply reads, "Bakery." The door stands slightly open. Warm light spills softly onto the stone path outside. Even before you step inside, you notice the wonderful smell. Fresh bread, warm flour, honey, butter, a hint of toasted oats, perhaps just a little cinnamon. It is one of the most comforting scents in the world. You gently step inside. The bakery is peaceful, not busy. The day's work is nearly finished. Large wooden tables fill the room, each polished smooth by countless years of gentle hands. Bowls of flour rest neatly upon sturdy shelves. Earthenware jars hold oats, barley, rye, and tiny golden grains of wheat. Bundles of dried herbs hang from dark wooden beams overhead. Copper pots gleam softly in the warm firelight. Along one wall, a great stone oven quietly radiates gentle warmth. Its fire has become glowing red coals. The day's baking is complete. Fresh loaves cool upon wooden racks. Round country loaves, long crusty breads, little dinner rolls, braided loaves brushed with butter. Everything rests quietly beneath clean linen cloths. The baker has already gone home. The bakery itself seems to be resting, almost breathing. You slowly walk among the wooden tables. One bowl still holds soft dough. It has been covered carefully with a cloth. Beneath it, the dough continues rising silently, patiently, doing exactly what it has done for thousands of years. Growing gently, without hurry, without effort. Nearby rests an old wooden kneading board. Its surface bears tiny marks left by generations of bakers. You place your hand gently upon it. The wood feels smooth, warm, comforting. You imagine all the peaceful mornings that began here. Before sunrise, someone would quietly unlock the bakery door, light the oven, mix flour with cool water, add a little salt, perhaps a spoonful of sourdough starter carefully kept alive for many years. Then, with calm hands, the baker would begin kneading. Press, fold, turn, press again. The rhythm never hurried, never forced, only steady, gentle, almost like breathing. Outside, the village would still be asleep. Only the oven fire would crackle softly. Only the baker's hands would move quietly across the dough. As the first loaf slowly rose, the whole village would begin filling with the wonderful scent of fresh bread. Children would wake smiling. Neighbors would open their windows. People would know, without looking at the clock, that morning had arrived. Bread has always been more than food. It has always been comfort, warmth, home, You slowly walk toward one of the bakery windows. Outside, the wheat fields glow beneath the fading evening light. The breeze continues moving softly across the golden stalks. Everything feels wonderfully peaceful. You notice a tiny leather-bound notebook resting upon the windowsill. Its pages have yellowed with age. The cover simply says, "The Baker's Journal." You carefully open it. The handwriting inside is neat and calm. The very first page reads, "Every loaf begins with patience." You turn another page. "Flower remembers the fields." Another. "Water remembers the rivers." Then, "The oven remembers every loaf it has ever baked." You smile softly. The words feel less like instructions and more like quiet thoughts shared over many peaceful years. The little bakery grows even quieter as evening deepens. Outside, the sky slowly changes from gold to soft blue, to the gentle colors of approaching night. Inside, the warm oven continues giving off its comforting heat. The dough quietly rises beneath its cloth. The cooling loaves fill the room with their gentle fragrance. The little journal waits patiently upon the windowsill. And somehow, you know, this peaceful bakery is only the beginning. Because tonight, you are not simply visiting one bakery. You are beginning a long, gentle journey through thousands of years of bread making. A journey carried one quiet loaf at a time. The little bakery slowly fades behind you. The warm stone oven, the cooling loaves, the quiet journal upon the windowsill. Everything remains there, resting peacefully. Your journey continues, not by walking faster, not by any great adventure, but simply by allowing time itself to drift gently backward. The golden wheat fields become smaller. The stone cottages slowly disappear. The village fades into soft evening mist. The years quietly slip away. Hundreds of years. Then thousands. The roads become simple dirt paths. The brick buildings become wooden shelters. Then even those gently disappear. Soon, there are no villages at all. Only wide open grassland stretching beneath an endless blue sky. The air feels wonderfully fresh. A gentle breeze carries the scent of wild grasses and warm earth. Birds circle lazily overhead. A small stream flows quietly nearby. Its clear water sparkles beneath the afternoon sun. You walk slowly beside it. There is no hurry. Only the peaceful rhythm of nature. The people who live here do not yet know bakeries. They have never seen ovens made of stone. There are no shelves filled with bread. No wooden tables dusted with flour. Only simple lives lived close to the earth. A small group of families has gathered beneath a cluster of ancient trees. Children play quietly beside the stream. Someone tends a gentle fire. Others gather seeds from the tall grasses growing nearby. Their woven baskets slowly fill with tiny golden grains. wild barley, wild wheat, simple gifts from the earth. They gather carefully, patiently, taking only what they need. The evening sun shines warmly across the fields. One woman kneels beside a large flat stone. In front of her rests another smooth stone that fits comfortably into her hands. She gently pours a handful of grain onto the larger stone. Then, slowly, she begins grinding. Back and forth, back and forth. The movement is calm, steady, almost like breathing. Tiny pieces of grain slowly become soft flour. Not perfectly smooth, a little coarse, a little rustic, but beautiful in its own quiet way. The gentle sound of stone against stone fills the peaceful afternoon. Nearby, another family member brings a small clay bowl filled with cool water from the stream. The fresh water glistens in the sunlight. The woman smiles kindly. She slowly mixes the flour with the water. Only 2 simple ingredients: grain, water, nothing more. She stirs carefully with her fingers. The mixture becomes soft, gentle. A simple dough begins to form. There are no measuring cups, no recipes written in books. Only careful hands, years of quiet observation, and trust in simple things. She kneads the dough gently. Press, fold, turn, press again. Even here, thousands of years ago, the rhythm is familiar. Almost the same rhythm you imagined in the little bakery. Some things never truly change. Nearby, a flat stone has been resting beside the fire all afternoon. The warmth has slowly spread through it. Not too hot, just warm enough. The woman gently places the small round dough upon the heated stone. Everyone waits patiently. No one rushes. The fire crackles softly. The breeze moves through the tall grass. The birds continue singing. Slowly, the little round of dough begins to change. Its surface becomes firmer. Tiny golden spots appear. A warm aroma begins rising into the evening air. Simple, earthy, comforting. The scent of the very first bread. The children notice it immediately. They smile. One little boy quietly sits beside the fire, watching with wide, curious eyes. He has never seen bread before. Neither has anyone else. Because this may be one of the very first loaves ever made. After a little while, the woman carefully turns it over using a smooth wooden stick. The other side cooks gently. Soon, the simple flatbread is ready. She places it upon a clean woven cloth. Steam rises softly into the cool evening air. Everyone gathers together. Not because they are hungry alone, but because sharing food has always brought people close. The first piece is torn gently by hand. Still warm. soft inside, slightly crisp around the edges. Each person receives a small piece. No one takes too much. There is enough for everyone. The little boy smiles after his very first bite. The adults smile too. No words are needed. Sometimes, the simplest discoveries are the most wonderful. The fire continues glowing softly. The stream quietly flows beside the camp. The evening sky slowly turns golden, then orange, then deep blue. Above, the first stars quietly appear. The fresh bread rests beside the fire. Its comforting aroma mingles with the scent of warm earth and wood smoke. Somewhere nearby, an owl calls softly across the open grasslands. The little camp grows peaceful. Families sit together quietly. Someone hums a gentle tune. Children grow sleepy beside the warmth of the fire. The woman carefully brushes the remaining flour from the grinding stone. Tomorrow, they will gather more grain, grind more flour, bake another simple loaf. Not because it is something extraordinary, but because it has quietly become part of everyday life. You sit peacefully beside the fire for a little while, feeling its gentle warmth upon your face, listening to the crackling wood, watching tiny sparks rise slowly toward the stars. You realize something beautiful. The bread you enjoyed in the little village bakery, the warm loaves cooling upon wooden shelves, the comforting scent that filled every room, all began here. With simple grain, fresh water, patient hands, and a quiet evening beneath the open sky. The first loaf was never about perfection. It was about care, about patience, about sharing warmth with those gathered nearby. The stars continue appearing one by one above the peaceful camp. The little fire burns lower. The fresh bread has been shared. The bowls have been quietly washed beside the stream. Everything settles into the calm rhythm of night. And somewhere, far in the future, thousands of cozy bakeries are waiting to grow from this one simple beginning. The stars above the little camp slowly begin to fade. Morning arrives gently. The grasslands grow warm beneath the rising sun. Then, once again, time itself begins to move. Not quickly, not suddenly, only slowly. The little camp becomes smaller. The years drift quietly forward. Hundreds, then thousands. The open grasslands slowly give way to wide, fertile fields. A great river appears. Its calm waters shimmer beneath brilliant sunshine. Tall reeds sway gently along its banks. Palm trees cast long, peaceful shadows. The warm breeze carries the scent of fresh water, rich earth, and growing grain. You have arrived in ancient Egypt. The mighty river Nile flows quietly beside you. Every year, its gentle floods leave behind dark, fertile soil. Farmers smile as they scatter tiny wheat seeds into the earth. The rich soil welcomes them. Soon, the fields become oceans of golden grain. The wheat sways softly beneath the warm desert breeze. It is a peaceful sight. Simple. Timeless. You begin walking along a narrow path that follows the river. Fishing boats drift lazily upon the calm water. Their white linen sails catch the gentle wind. Children laugh softly as they help gather reeds near the riverbank. White birds glide gracefully above the water before settling quietly among the tall grasses. Everything moves slowly, naturally, comfortably. Ahead, a small village appears. Its homes are built from smooth mud bricks dried beneath the Egyptian sun. The walls glow softly in shades of warm honey and sand. Colorful clay pots rest outside every doorway. Small gardens grow figs, dates, and fragrant herbs. The whole village feels warm and welcoming. At the edge of the village, you notice a bakery. It is unlike the little stone bakery you visited before. Its walls are made of sun-dried clay. A wide courtyard sits beneath the open sky. Several large clay ovens stand together in one corner. Their rounded shapes resemble giant pottery jars. Thin streams of warm air rise gently from their openings. The comforting scent reaches you before you even arrive. Fresh bread, toasted grain, warm honey, a hint of sesame. The aroma fills the peaceful morning air. You step quietly into the courtyard. Several bakers are already at work. No one rushes. Each movement is calm, practiced, almost graceful. One baker slowly pours finely ground flour into a large clay bowl. Another adds cool water from a smooth earthen jar. Nearby, a woman gently stirs a bubbling mixture resting inside a smaller bowl. The mixture rises softly. Tiny bubbles appear across its surface. You watch with quiet curiosity. The elderly baker notices your interest. He smiles kindly. "This," he says softly, "is yesterday helping tomorrow." He gently stirs the bubbling mixture. This little piece of yesterday's dough is still alive. It helps today's bread become light and soft. You realize what you are seeing. The discovery of naturally fermented bread. No one planned it. No one searched for it. Perhaps long ago, someone simply forgot a bowl of dough. The warm Egyptian air allowed tiny natural yeasts to work quietly. The dough rose. Someone baked it anyway, and discovered something wonderful. Bread that was softer, lighter, filled with tiny pockets of air. A happy accident that would quietly change bread forever. The baker carefully mixes the lively starter into today's fresh dough. He kneads patiently. Press, fold, turn, press again. The rhythm feels wonderfully familiar. Thousands of years may have passed, yet the hands move almost exactly as they did in the first little camp beside the fire. Nearby, Other bakers shape small round loaves. Some are sprinkled with sesame seeds. Others are brushed lightly with olive oil. A few are braided into beautiful patterns. Some are shaped like little birds. Others resemble flowers. One young apprentice carefully presses simple leaf patterns into the tops of several loaves using carved wooden stamps. Each loaf becomes a tiny work of art. The dough rests beneath clean linen cloths, quietly rising, patiently growing. The bakers never hurry it. They simply wait. The warm morning sunshine fills the courtyard. The little bubbles inside the dough continue their invisible work. Time itself seems to become part of the recipe. Eventually, the first loaves are ready. The elderly baker gently lifts one. Its surface has become wonderfully smooth, soft, full of life. He carefully places it inside one of the great clay ovens. The oven glows warmly inside, not with fierce flames, only gentle heat stored within its thick clay walls. One by one, the other loaves follow. The bakery grows wonderfully quiet. Nothing can be done now except wait. The scent slowly changes. First, warm flour. Then, toasting grain. Soon, the unmistakable aroma of fresh bread fills every corner of the courtyard. Even people walking along the nearby street smile as they pass. The fragrance drifts gently through the village. Children pause their games. Neighbors step outside. The whole village seems to recognize the comforting promise carried upon the breeze. Fresh bread is almost ready. After a little while, the baker carefully removes the first loaf. Its crust shines a beautiful golden brown. Tiny cracks have formed across the surface. Steam rises softly into the warm morning air. He gently taps the bottom. A quiet hollow sound answers. He smiles. Perfect. The loaf rests upon a woven basket lined with fresh linen. Nearby, others slowly cool beside it. The bakery becomes filled with rows of beautiful bread. Some large, some small, some round, some long. Each one quietly different, yet each made from the same simple gifts. Grain, water, time, warmth, patient hands. The elderly baker slices one warm loaf. He spreads a little fresh honey across the soft bread. Golden sunlight shines through the open courtyard. Birds sing quietly nearby. The river Nile continues flowing peacefully beyond the village. You take one slow bite. The bread is soft, light, slightly sweet, wonderfully comforting. Perhaps the softest bread anyone has ever tasted so far in history. The baker smiles again. Tomorrow, he says gently, we'll keep a little dough, so tomorrow's bread remembers today. You love those words. Tomorrow's bread remembers today. Just as every baker remembers the gentle hands who baked before them. The warm ovens continue glowing. The loaves quietly cool. The peaceful village carries on beneath the bright Egyptian sun. And somewhere within these simple clay walls, the future of bread has quietly begun. The golden village beside the river Nile slowly fades into the warm morning light. The clay ovens grow quiet. The baskets of fresh bread become distant memories. Time begins moving gently once more. Not quickly. Not suddenly. Only as softly as clouds drifting across a peaceful sky. The centuries quietly pass. Empires rise. New roads appear across the countryside. Stone bridges cross gentle rivers. Olive trees spread across rolling hills. Vineyards cover sunny valleys. The warm Mediterranean breeze carries the scent of rosemary, wild thyme, and fresh earth. You have arrived in ancient Rome. Not the busy city itself, but a peaceful little village nestled among green hills. Morning has only just begun. The first rays of sunlight touch the terracotta rooftops. Small cottages glow softly beneath the golden sky. Flower pots rest beneath every window. Climbing vines curl around old stone walls. The village wakes slowly. A rooster calls in the distance. A shepherd quietly leads a small flock of sheep along a narrow path. The bells around their necks make the softest little sounds. Nearby, a donkey patiently turns a large circular millstone. Round and round. Round and round. The movement is slow. Steady. Gentle. Grain pours into the top of the stone mill. Fresh flour falls softly into a wooden basket below. The miller smiles kindly as he brushes a little flour from his apron. He works without hurry. Every turn of the stone feels calm, almost peaceful enough to become music. The fresh flour is carried a short distance to the village bakery. You follow quietly behind. The bakery stands beside the village square. Its wide wooden doors are already open. Warm golden light spills onto the stone street. Inside, the bakery feels wonderfully welcoming. The walls are built from smooth stone. Heavy wooden beams stretch across the ceiling. Bundles of lavender and bay leaves hang overhead. The scent of warm bread fills every corner. Large wooden tables stand neatly arranged. Bowls of fresh flour wait patiently. Earthenware jars hold water drawn from a nearby spring. Clay pots contain olive oil, honey, sea salt. Everything has its place. Everything feels calm. At the far end of the room, a magnificent brick oven glows warmly. Its gentle fire has been burning since before sunrise. A baker slowly kneads a large mound of dough. His hands move with quiet confidence. Press. Fold. Turn. Press again. The rhythm is almost hypnotic. Beside him, his daughter carefully shapes small round loaves. She smiles as she gently dusts each one with flour. Another baker twists long ropes of dough into beautiful braided loaves. A little boy carries woven baskets lined with clean linen cloths. Even the youngest helper moves slowly, peacefully. No one rushes. No one speaks loudly. The bakery seems to understand that good bread prefers quiet hands. Along one table, you notice something beautiful. Several loaves have little patterns pressed into their tops. Tiny leaves. Simple flowers. Stars. Little circles. The baker notices your curiosity. He gently picks up one of the wooden stamps. "My father carved these," he says softly. "And his father before him." He carefully presses the stamp into a fresh loaf. There. Now everyone will know who baked today's bread. The simple mark feels almost like a signature. A quiet tradition passed from one generation to the next. Soon, the shaped loaves are carried to the great oven. The baker uses a long wooden paddle polished smooth by many years of use. One by one, the loaves disappear into the warm oven. Then, once again, everyone waits patiently. Outside, the village slowly comes to life. Neighbors greet one another with gentle smiles. Children carry little clay jugs to the village well. A woman waters herbs growing beside her doorway. Fresh basil, mint, parsley. The warm morning breeze carries their fragrance through the narrow streets. Inside the bakery, the first aroma begins rising. Warm flour, toasted wheat. Then, the rich, comforting scent of baking bread. It drifts out through the open doorway. Across the village square. Past the olive trees. Toward every little cottage. People smile as they breathe it in. No clocks are needed. The scent itself tells everyone. Fresh bread will soon be ready. The baker carefully opens the oven. A wave of comforting warmth fills the room. Golden loaves rest quietly upon the hot bricks. Their crusts have become beautifully brown. Tiny cracks spread gently across each loaf. Steam rises softly into the morning air. The baker lifts one carefully. He taps its base. A gentle hollow sound answers. Perfect. One by one, the fresh loaves are placed into woven baskets. Soft linen cloths are folded over them to keep them warm. Soon, villagers begin arriving. No long lines. No hurry. Only quiet greetings. An elderly woman chooses one small loaf. A young family carries home two larger ones. A shepherd purchases a round loaf along with a little piece of fresh cheese. The baker knows every face, every smile, every family. Bread is not simply sold here. It is shared. It becomes part of every morning, part of every table. Part of every peaceful day. You step outside with a small warm loaf resting in your hands. The crust feels pleasantly crisp. The inside remains soft and warm. You sit beneath a large olive tree overlooking the village. Sunlight filters gently through the silver-green leaves. A soft breeze rustles the branches overhead. Nearby, the shepherd's sheep graze quietly upon the hillside. The little bells around their necks continue their gentle music. You break off a small piece of bread. It is simple, fresh, comforting. Somehow, every loaf you've tasted throughout this journey feels connected. The first flatbread beside the ancient campfire. The soft risen loaves of Egypt. Now, the warm village bread of Rome. Each one carries the same quiet gift. Patience, care, warmth. As the morning grows brighter, the bakery slowly becomes peaceful once again. The first baking is finished. The remaining dough rests quietly beneath linen cloths, ready for tomorrow. The great oven glows softly. The millstone continues turning, round and round, slowly, patiently, just as it has for countless mornings before. And as you watch the peaceful village settling into another beautiful day, you realize that bread has become something more than nourishment. It has become a daily rhythm, a quiet promise that wherever people gather, warmth can always be shared. The little Roman village slowly disappears into the morning mist. The olive trees fade. The stone mill grows quiet. The baskets of warm bread become gentle memories. Once again, time begins to flow. Slowly, peacefully. The centuries drift by like soft clouds crossing the sky. Stone roads become narrower. Great forests spread across rolling hills. Tiny villages appear beside winding rivers. Church bells ring softly in the distance. You have arrived in medieval Europe. It is early evening. The sky glows with shades of pale gold and soft lavender. A cool breeze carries the scent of pine trees, fresh hay, and wood smoke. You follow a quiet cobblestone lane into a small village. The cottages are built from timber and warm stone. Their steep roofs are covered with weathered tiles. Golden light shines through small glass windows. Flower boxes overflow with lavender, daisies, and rosemary. The village feels peaceful, comfortable, like a place where everyone knows one another. At the center of the village stands a cozy bakery. Its wooden sign gently sways above the door. A painted loaf of bread decorates the sign, faded by many seasons of sunshine and rain. Warm light spills from the windows. You step inside. Immediately, the comforting warmth wraps gently around you. A great stone fireplace glows quietly in one corner. Candles flicker softly upon sturdy wooden shelves. Copper pots hang from dark oak beams overhead. Bundles of herbs dry beside the ceiling. The entire bakery smells of warm bread, fresh butter, toasted oats, and a touch of cinnamon. It feels wonderfully peaceful. Several generations of one family work together. An elderly grandmother carefully stirs a large wooden bowl. Her daughter kneads soft dough upon a flour-covered table. A young grandson patiently dusts baskets with flour. Even the smallest child helps by placing clean linen cloths beside the cooling loaves. No one hurries. No one raises their voice. Every movement is calm, almost musical. Upon the largest table rests something very special. A deep earthenware bowl covered with soft linen. The grandmother gently lifts the cloth. Inside, the dough is quietly bubbling. Tiny air pockets slowly rise and disappear. It smells pleasantly rich, warm, comforting. You notice how carefully she handles it, almost as though she is greeting an old friend. She smiles kindly. "This," she whispers, "is our sourdough starter. It has been part of our family longer than I have." She gently stirs the bubbling mixture with a wooden spoon. My grandmother cared for it, and her grandmother before that. She smiles softly. Every morning we feed it. Every evening it rests. It helps tomorrow's bread become soft and full of life. You watch quietly. The little bowl seems almost alive. Not in a magical way. Simply full of quiet patience. A living tradition passed gently from one generation to the next. Nearby, fresh flour is poured into a great wooden trough. Cool well water is added. Then the grandmother carefully places a small spoonful of the sourdough starter into the mixture. "It doesn't take much," she says with a smile. "Just enough to remember yesterday." You love those words. Just enough to remember yesterday. The family begins kneading together. Press. Fold. Turn. Press again. Each pair of hands moves with the same gentle rhythm. The youngest watches carefully, learning not from books, but from quiet observation. Learning by doing. Learning by feeling the dough beneath gentle fingers. Outside, the evening grows calmer. The village bells ring softly. Neighbors pass the bakery carrying little woven baskets. Some stop to chat quietly through the open doorway. Others simply smile as the comforting aroma drifts into the street. Inside, the dough rests beneath linen cloths. The family waits patiently. One child asks softly, "Is it ready yet?" The grandmother smiles. "The dough will tell us." Everyone laughs gently. Not loudly. Only the quiet laughter that belongs in warm kitchens. The waiting becomes part of the baking. No one minds. While the dough rises, the family prepares the oven. The great stone oven has been warming since the afternoon. Its glowing coals are gently spread with a long wooden rake. The heat fills the bakery with wonderful comfort. The grandmother checks the dough once more. She presses it gently with one finger. The small dent slowly rises again. She smiles. Now, the loaves are shaped carefully. Some round, some long, some placed into woven proofing baskets lined with linen. Each basket leaves a delicate pattern upon the dough. The grandson carefully scores the tops using a tiny sharp blade. Simple lines. Little leaves. Gentle crosses. Nothing complicated. Only beautiful in its simplicity. One by one, the loaves slide into the warm stone oven. The wooden peel moves gracefully, like a dance repeated thousands of times. Then, once again, everyone waits. The candles flicker softly. The fire crackles gently. Outside, the first stars begin appearing above the rooftops. Inside, the wonderful aroma slowly begins to grow. Fresh wheat, toasted crust, warm butter, honey. The smell fills every corner of the bakery. Even the sleepy village cat wanders through the open doorway. It stretches lazily beside the fireplace, then curls into a perfect little circle upon the warm stone floor. No one disturbs it. The bakery seems made for peaceful naps. Soon, the first loaf is ready. The grandmother gently removes it from the oven. Its crust is deep golden brown. Tiny cracks spread beautifully across the surface. Steam rises slowly into the candlelit room. She places it upon a wooden rack. One by one, the remaining loaves join it. The whole bakery glows with warmth. The family gathers around the cooling bread, not to admire perfection, but to quietly appreciate another day's work. The grandmother slices one fresh loaf. She spreads a little creamy butter across the warm bread. It melts almost instantly. She offers everyone a small piece. Each family member smiles. Not because it is extraordinary, but because it feels like home. You enjoy a small piece as well. The crust is gently crisp, the inside wonderfully soft. The flavor carries the patience of many hours and the care of many generations. Outside, night settles peacefully over the village. Lanterns glow in cottage windows. Soft conversations drift through the quiet streets. The bakery slowly grows still. Tomorrow's sourdough starter rests safely beneath its cloth. The wooden bowls have been washed. The flour brushed from the tables. The oven slowly cools. The candles burn lower. Everything settles into comfortable silence. And you realize the greatest ingredient in every loaf has never been flour, or water, or salt. It has always been patience, passed quietly from one gentle pair of hands to the next. The little medieval village slowly fades into the soft light of dawn. The cobblestone streets become quieter. The candle flames gently disappear. The old stone oven rests after another peaceful evening. Time begins moving once more. Slowly, comfortably. The centuries drift past like autumn leaves floating upon a gentle stream. Wooden carts become bicycles. Stone mills become modern flour mills. Small villages grow into quiet towns. Yet somehow, one familiar thing never changes. The comforting scent of fresh bread. The warm glow of a bakery before sunrise. The quiet hands preparing dough while most of the world is still asleep. You find yourself standing outside a small artisan bakery. It is early morning. The sky is painted with soft shades of blue and pale gold. The streets are almost empty. Only a few birds sing quietly from nearby trees. A cool morning breeze brushes gently across your face. Warm light shines through the bakery windows. You slowly open the wooden door. A tiny brass bell above it gives the softest little chime. Inside, the bakery feels wonderfully peaceful, just as bakeries have always felt. Large wooden tables stand neatly arranged. Bowls of flour rest beside polished mixing bowls. Woven baskets wait patiently on wooden shelves. Fresh herbs grow in little pots along the windows. Rosemary, thyme, mint, lavender. Their gentle fragrance mixes beautifully with the warm scent of bread. The baker is already working. The room is completely quiet except for one familiar rhythm. Press, fold, turn, press again. The same peaceful movement. The same patient hands. The same gentle care. Thousands of years have passed. Yet almost nothing has changed. The baker smiles as you watch. There is no secret, she says softly. Only time. She gently covers the dough with a linen cloth. You cannot hurry bread. It teaches us to slow down. You smile. Bread has been teaching that lesson for thousands of years. Nearby, a little notebook rests upon the counter. Its pages are filled with handwritten recipes. Some written by the baker herself. Others copied from her grandmother. Still others passed down through many generations. The oldest page simply reads, "Feed the starter kindly." Another says, "Trust your hands more than the clock." Another, "Every loaf is different, and that is perfectly fine." The words feel wonderfully gentle. The dough continues rising peacefully. No one watches it constantly. No one worries. The baker quietly prepares the oven. Outside, the first rays of sunlight begin shining across the little town. People slowly begin waking. A cyclist rides peacefully along the quiet street. Someone opens a nearby flower shop. A little cafe places fresh flowers upon its tables. Morning arrives one calm moment at a time. Back inside, the dough has become soft and full. The baker gently shapes each loaf. Round country loaves. Long rustic breads. Small dinner rolls. A braided loaf sprinkled with oats. Each one receives the same quiet attention. One by one, they enter the warm oven. Then, the bakery becomes still. There is nothing more to do except wait. The comforting aroma slowly begins filling the room. Warm wheat, golden crust, fresh butter, toasted oats, honey, vanilla. The scent drifts gently out into the peaceful morning streets. People passing outside smile without even realizing why. Fresh bread has a way of making the whole world feel a little kinder. Soon, the oven door opens. The first loaf appears. Golden. Beautiful. Steam rises softly into the warm bakery. The baker places it carefully upon a cooling rack. One after another, the remaining loaves join it. The room becomes filled with warmth, not only from the bread, but from everything it represents. Generations of quiet mornings, patient hands, simple ingredients, shared meals, warm kitchens, comfort, home. You slowly walk along the cooling racks. Every loaf is unique. Some have tiny cracks. Some are perfectly round. Some lean ever so slightly to one side. Each one beautiful in its own way. Just like every story. Just like every journey. The baker slices a warm loaf. Fresh butter melts slowly across the soft crumb. She places a small piece into your hands. You take one gentle bite. The crust is lightly crisp. The inside wonderfully soft. Warm. Comforting. Familiar. You close your eyes for just a moment. And somehow, within that single taste, you can almost feel every bakery you have visited tonight. The first little camp beside the ancient fire. The clay ovens beside the river Nile. The peaceful Roman village. The candlelit bakery of medieval Europe. And now, this quiet bakery welcoming another sunrise. Every loaf remembers the ones before it, just as every baker remembers gentle hands that taught them. The baker quietly wipes a little flour from the wooden table. She smiles. The first customers will arrive soon. You nod. But for now, she says softly, the bakery belongs to the morning. Outside, sunlight fills the street. The bakery windows glow warmly. Fresh bread waits patiently on the shelves. Another peaceful day is beginning. You step outside. The cool morning air feels fresh, comfortable. You take one last look at the little bakery. Its warm windows. Its welcoming door. Its quiet promise that tomorrow, before the sun rises, someone will once again unlock the door, light the oven, mix flour and water, and begin the gentle rhythm all over again. Press, fold, turn, press again. Some traditions never grow old. They simply continue, one peaceful morning at a time. Now, your own journey begins to grow wonderfully quiet. Imagine yourself walking slowly through a golden wheat field once more. The gentle breeze moves softly across the grain. The warm scent of bread still lingers in the air. The sun becomes lower, Its golden light grows softer. The fields slowly fade into evening, then into gentle twilight, then into peaceful night. Take one slow breath in, and gently breathe out. Again. Breathe in comfort, and breathe out every remaining thought. Feel your forehead becoming smooth, your eyes resting comfortably, your jaw soft, your shoulders heavy, your arms completely relaxed, your hands warm, your legs still, your whole body peaceful. Imagine a tiny cottage kitchen. A loaf of fresh bread rests beneath a linen cloth upon a wooden table. A small lamp glows softly nearby. Outside, the world has grown wonderfully quiet. Inside, everything is warm, safe, comfortable. The bread cools slowly. The oven gives off its final gentle warmth. Nothing more needs to be done. Nothing needs your attention. Only rest. Only comfort. Only quiet. The history of bread continues without hurry. Tomorrow another loaf will rise. Another oven will glow. Another family will gather around a warm table. But tonight, your journey is complete. You have wandered through thousands of peaceful years. One loaf at a time. One quiet kitchen at a time. One gentle sunrise at a time. Now, let your breathing become slower. Let your thoughts drift as softly as flour falling onto a wooden table. Let your body become pleasantly heavy, and allow yourself to rest. Sleep deeply. Sleep peacefully. And may every warm loaf, every glowing oven, every golden wheat field, and every cozy bakery remain with you, like the gentlest dream. Good night, dear listener. Sleep well, and may tomorrow greet you as gently as the comforting aroma of fresh bread at sunrise.